All I gotta say is, right? All a motherfucker has to say, if you didn't get excited watching this part,
They say this is a big rich town.
I don't know what to fucking tell you. The Power Force series finale was definitely one for the motherfucking ages, guys. Welcome back to Inside the Rawrrzone, where entertainment meets culture. Today, we are breaking up the final season of Power Book 4 Force. Not just how it ended, but how it's setting up for Power Legacy. Because this finale just wasn't about explosions, it was about evolution. Pause.
Hey, yo.
Now, I understand, right? A lot of y'all were saying out of all three books, we're talking about Power Ghost, Raising Kanan, and Force. A lot of y'all were saying, fuck Tommy, fuck Tommy. You know, his show is whack, his show is this. But I feel like Tommy had the most character development out of all three books. Now, see how it goes, right? Um, Force was never about turning Tommy into Ghost. It was about making him his own entity. He had the foresight, and for someone like Tommy, he was all about impulse. So going into Force, you had to see a different Tommy that was more intentional, calculated, strategic. He positioned himself and worked with people to not chase the power, but to be the power. So on one end, we have the writers. We got 50 making Tommy damn near indestructible between him and his relationship with Stacy Marks, his contentious relationship with the Flynns, Diamond and Jannard, trying to make sure the coalition goes up, his contentious relationship, current partnership with Miguel, all of that power tripping played into a lot of factors of making Tommy as strong as he is, leading up to the series finale. But something else also changed him in his character plot, giving him family and giving him character growth. You know for a fact that blood changes everything. So now we got JP and DMAC that brought the vulnerability, accountability, and family and responsibility. And we're not talking about like street responsibility. We're not talking about street loyalty. We're talking about family. Like I'm gonna die for you. I understand like they had Kate in the Power series and then they had her in Force, you know, but she what she while she brought up family, but she here loving on Ghost more than she loved on Tommy. Nah, bro, that's a dub. Um so when they introduced JP as his sibling and the storyline from there, you see that Tommy is not alone. Um, this was a real family, and DMAC he forced Tommy to become someone that he never planned on being, a father figure, and everything he did had consequences. Now, bet right, like he had Tariq the first few seasons of Power. But even then, you saw how Tariq turned and flipped because he wanted to be part of the life. And once he nuked Ghost, it was all over from there, right? Now, another shift happens within those personal relationships. Um, Another love interest, Maria. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was so scared that she was going to end up like Lakeisha and Holly, right? Because Tommy didn't have good luck with the ladies. So this set up legacy over chaos for Tommy, representing something new, not survival. You see in the series finale, she leaves a note for him saying, yes, I left with the baby to go to Mexico, but once everything is calm, come pick me up. Come take us home. She represented a new chapter for Tommy, not a chapter of survival, not adrenaline. The possibilities through Maria, Tommy gets to imagine living that life that Ghost wanted, the life with a family, continuity, a legacy. Becoming a father wasn't about him being soft, it was about responsibility that matters. And even through the seasons, right? And building the coalition and working with both Diamond, Jannard, and Miguel, they definitely brought different futures and different avenues for Tommy, giving him a life that he didn't think was possible unless he was like in New York, right? So you have originally the mirrors of Tommy. You had Diamond, who was a structure, who preached brotherhood. He was loyal to a fault. Then you got Miguel, who was very ambitious and powerful and loves to be in control, and he wants to show his power through fear. And Tommy was able to learn from them both. But both of them, the one thing they had in common with Tommy was they refused to be owned by the other. And by the end, Tommy was the last man standing, but not isolated. Then you had Jannard, right? I think a lot of people got that relationship misconstrued. And I love for the fact that they kept him and Vic alive at the end. Jannard's evolution might be the most underrated. He was once driven by ego and his resentment, and he partnered up with Shanti trying to take out Jannard, right? But in the end, he's the one that survived it all. He survived the death physically, spiritually. He learns how pride costs, that power will isolate you, and survival requires humility. And Jannard didn't win that part because the drugs really took it. Um, and at the end, they put him as a serious power player for Power Legacy. Now, Vic brought a different side to Tommy. Surviving wasn't accidental in this power. So now in Power Legacy, Vic is going to change the fucking game. Surviving for him wasn't accidental. Remember, he set his dad up to die in that ambush. His sister died in the hands of Tommy because, of course, everyone wants to take the matters into their own hands, trying to kill Tommy. It's like that's never gonna fucking happen. Um, Survival means purpose, and he's not protected by the privilege of the Flynn family. He understands now that consequences have actions, and the knowledge will make him more dangerous. Okay, now let's talk about this, right? DMAC and Tariq. We gotta look closely into this as the Power series evolves, right? They share something really powerful. They are both products of legacy raised inside of chaos. They're trying to still see, although they have a feeling of who they are, they're still trying to figure out who they will become if they cross these two paths. Would it be a rivalry? Would it be recognition? Or is it going to be a bond built on pressure, expectation, and survival? And that relationship could become a cornerstone. But at the same time, though, if it comes to one versus the other, my money is on Tariq pulling the glicky out on DMAC because DMAC shows a lot of impulsive Tommy characteristics, but Tariq knows he's better than Ghost. He's more than Ghost. And he's already shown that he could put himself in the life while at the same time, not I don't want to say not get caught because he got caught a couple of times during the Power series, but he's trying to do it in a way where he will move like Ghost. Like the writers of Force really hit it on the money because they ground the story on real world issues. The corrupt government, dirty cops, broken systems, power struggles that protect themselves. This isn't fantasy crime. It's literally motherfucking commentary. The streets aren't the only villains. It's the system, and it's the reason and the realism why power resonates. It affects the world we're actually living in. The theme power isn't as loud anymore. It's been 6 years since the original power, or more than that, was taken off the air. So early power was flashy, it had fear, visibility, but force was quiet, strategic, systematic, and that's going to be the blueprint going forward for Power Legacy. The moment in the theme song, the writers were extremely intentional. When that power theme played in the finale, it wasn't just nostalgia, it was a signal that one era is closed and another began. I mean, just look at the conversation between Tariq and Tommy at the end.
Come to New York and move your powder. From where I'm standing, there's just more money to be made for you, me, and your family. If we partnered up, talking legacy. So what you say? Start some new shit.
The rules change, the tone is matured. What does this mean for Power Legacy? Power Legacy isn't about building empires, it's about the consequences, family system, choices, who survives and why. Like, first of all, I already pissed off everyone that day. I was screaming. I was so happy for Tommy through the whole series and see how it ended up. Force didn't end with chaos, it ended with clarity. And he didn't outrun his past, he outgrew it. And now as Power Legacy begins, the question isn't who wants the power, is who understands the cost of keeping it. Do you see Tommy going back into New York with Tariq? Do you see him and Shanti and Miguel taking over on a grander scale? Or will something new be built? That was your Inside the Rawrrzone wrap up. A new era of power is coming, and this time it's not about who's the loudest, it's about who's still motherfucking standing. When the music changes, we'll see you inside the Rawrrzone.